and the goal is to bring you your next favorite band.
Sweet, that intro is my new favorite band. That's phenomenal. I'm so excited to be on.
Yeah. I heard a rumor that you might be able to play that song live today.
You heard correctly. Yes.
Excellent. So,
good enough for rock.
I don't know when I rock out here on your next favorite band show.
And listen, it's going to be everybody's favorite band.
Phil, you weren't supposed to make me get all... God almighty,
but this
Phil.
is why we do it.
Like, seriously. I gotta gather myself. All right, go ahead.
Okay.
Welcome to your next favorite band. That's both the show title and our promise to you. We here at Stereophilia Studio are tireless in our pursuit of finding incredible, genre-defiant artists who are either a hot up-and-coming band or a group that has been delivering for years but have flown under the radar.
Tonight, we go behind the sound with Start Making Sense and learn how they create that iconic sound of the Talking Heads.
Each month, we will bring you live streams, audio podcasts, and perhaps even a live concert where you can listen to the stories and hear the music of artists personally curated by us based on what we feel will be worthy of your time. Be sure to subscribe and tune in to each episode because the possibilities are endless and you never know who will be
Your next favorite band.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. I am your host, Philip Reese, and you are listening to Your Next Favorite Band. And today, first, happy April Fools. And the only, perhaps, April Fool here is you're going to think this is actually the Talking Heads, but it is the tribute band from here in the Lehigh Valley, who is the premier tribute band for the Talking Heads called Start Making Sense. And just a tremendous access point we had to do what we typically do with these episodes, where we do behind the sound, and the band is gracious enough to allow us to show up during load-in, throughout sound check, and then during the performance that night, and we just start to capture kind of like how they bring it all together. I think it's also a fascinating thing for people who are music lovers, fans of live music, who maybe don't know what all goes into it. It's not, especially not if you're trying to recreate a particular sound that everybody already knows. That need to have the time to set up, to dial in, and kind of create the making sure all of the equipment is working and all of the kind of props are working, so that you can give people this very entertaining and enjoyable experience. And pretty much nobody does it better than Start Making Sense. And so we were able to do all of that. We were able to record all that. And then pretty much almost the entire band is here with us tonight, including the sound engineer. So we're going to dive into it pretty quickly. The one thing I just kind of wanted to say off the top is later this month, pretty much always around Earth Day, this will be our 4th annual No Planet B Jamboree. So it's free. It's over at Arts Quest. It's a day to kind of spotlight sustainability and environmentalism and conservation. So come on out for that to hear the great bands that are on the lineup, and also kind of meet some of the organizations that are tabling. But in general, something that we're really proud of, these different live events that we've been doing. And so we hope you'll join us on Saturday, April the 25th, starting at 2. And like we said, over at Arts Quest, it's a free show and a great spot because regardless of weather, that's the spot and that's the day and that's the time, because we have the ability to either go indoors if it's Mother Nature just decides to affect things, or if it is a lovely day, the plan, as always, is to have us perform outside on a day that celebrates the earth. So definitely keep us in mind for that. Anyway, let's get into this show right now, because we're going to spend a ton of time with lots of great guests. I think we're setting records with the total number of guests on the screen. Prior to this, I believe we had 8 with March 4th, and that goes way back to our very first year ever doing this. But I think we're going to have 9 people on the screen today, so it's going to be a great one. And we thought the right thing to do was to kind of start right off with just doing this Meet the Band video. And keep in mind, we're doing this while some of that load in and sound check is happening, so you're going to hear all sorts of stuff behind the scenes, and I'm doing my best to stay out of the way. But here, Start Making Sense, tribute to Talking Heads.
Hi, my name's Jon Braun. I play the David Byrne of the band. I have my rig here. It is a mini replica of the David Byrne rig. I have white, orange, tan, purple, and black. A shrunken down Roland jazz chorus. It's the 40 instead of the 120 because I'm weak and I can't lift a 120. And then we have the Stratocaster part pieced together, the Sustain Chapel custom. If you look real close, I don't know if you can get this, but
we'll get it.
it's the Fender Stratocaster Sustain Squire edition, because this was initially a Squire, although the only part left that's a Squire is the body, I think. And then this is the original tribute band model. And that is the guitar. I kind of got the sort of finish of the David Byrne one, but his was from the 50s. Mine's from the Beastie Boys. And then the pedals. It's kind of like the Boss showroom.
Right.
I'm missing one though. Normally I have a delay pedal in
There's
this
a space
spot.
there.
It broke. It's being fixed by the Sustain Chapel currently, and it'll be back. With that Sustain, with the delay, the flange, the wah, the distortion, and the tuner, that's the same pedal board that David Byrne used for Stop Making Sense. But he also had some MIDI stuff that I don't have, because MIDI's way too hard. So that's what I got.
Awesome.
There you go.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
We're just the backup singers.
Just.
So, I'm Kate. My name's Kathleen. We backup sing. Yeah, that's right. We do. We do the moves. Mm-hmm. We sing the songs.
That's right.
It's a little bit of this, a little bit of that. A lot of harmonizing. A lot of harmonizing. Yeah. But super fun. Yeah.
Awesome.
A good time.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Jenny Founds, like you lost it and you found it, and I am playing the part of Tina Weymouth in Start Making Sense, a tribute to Talking Heads every weekend. The sound is created by a bass, a beautiful tuning pedal, one state-of-the-art bass amplifier, lots of reminders and notes, always, and you'll see later the iconic pigtails from her Tom Tom Club days. So that's about it. That's what it takes.
Awesome. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Brian Davis. I play guitar with Start Making Sense. I guess I'm the role of Jerry Harrison / Adrian Ballou. And most of the night I'm just playing funky chords, and then, the Adrian Ballou stuff is just making weird pedal shit. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Pedal stuff. So goofy, crazy sounds like that, or this crazy pedal. So I don't know what's gonna happen every night I hit that one, so that's part of the fun. So it's pretty much what I do.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much.
You got it. Thank you.
Hi, my name is John Tatum. I play guitar and Start Making Sense. John, the singer, and I formed a band 15 years ago, and we're still doing it. It's always gotten a really nice reception from people. We're grateful for that. We love playing this music.
Yeah.
I play with a PRS guitar, and I play through a Mesa Boogie amplifier.
And then a very cool effects pedals here. We were taking a listen to it before when you were doing the sound check.
Doing things, yeah. This is, I'm actually using, this is just a MIDI controller.
Ready.
And I use that to control the Boss multi-effects unit that I have on top of my amp for the delay and chorus and flanger that I need for this gig. And then this is just a controller for the amp, so it controls between the clean and the dirty channel on the amp.
so much.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'm like, so folks. Hi, I'm Alex. I play keyboards for Start Making Sense. I guess I play the roles of Bernie Worrell and Jerry Harrison. I try to channel both of them at the same time. It's a little weird. Jerry is more about precision, I think. Bernie is more about goofiness and having fun, so just try to combine the two. Here, I got my Korg SB2, my workhorse, which has got all my pianos and clap. Trying to make this sound as close as possible to Bernie's clap. Had a lot of fun with it. And then here we got our Prophet 6, which we had a guy program all the sounds from the movie Stop Making Sense as close as possible. And I made a few sounds of my own and classic synth sounds, and I try to experiment with all the noises, all the knobs, and just try to have fun with it.
Absolutely. And I do notice we're very formal. It's Mr. Prophet.
Yes.
And Mr. Chord.
So you want to know the story about this?
Yeah, we do.
So for Halloween this year, we did Spaceballs. And so in the movie, they have Mr. Coffee and stuff like that. So we did that with all of our other instruments, Mr. Bass and Mr. Prophet, Mr. Chord. I just decided to leave it on since then. Yeah, it's just goofy fun.
Cool. Thanks.
Yeah.
I'm Jesse Braun. I play drums, so I'm playing the parts of Chris Franz. Pretty basic drum setup, so I don't really have anything super fancy. He used pretty basic stuff. He's just holding the groove down, so it's a lot of just kick, snare, and hat. So that's pretty much all I'm doing.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I'm Colin. Start Making Sense. I play percussion. I play the role of Steve Scales. He's got a lot of stuff going on stage. I don't have all of it, but many of it I do. I got my congas here.
Yeah,
got the bongos. I do these about half the time. And I'm doing the toys about the other half. Got my concert toms. All the blocks. Got the cowbells. All of it.
Some sprinkles.
And of course the chimes. And one realization I had today right before soundcheck was this. Despite doing this for 6.5 years, I've only ever used them with this hard tip, right? How it's very attack sounding, but I got this soft tip that I use all the time. But only today, for the first time using it on these, I like how it sounds a little nicer.
Oh wow.
It's a little more dreamlike.
Yeah, oh, brighter.
It's nice.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
So there you have it. Meeting the band, Start Making Sense, a tribute to the Talking Heads. And now let's welcome almost the entire band. And we'll bring them in here one at a time. And again, like we said, it could be record setting. Let's see what happens. So welcome to the show. Everyone from Start Making Sense.
Thanks, good to be here.
So there was kind of the off the top, basically wanted everybody to kind of have the chance of rather than going through each of you and taking that moment there, it was so fun to be able to spend some time on stage and have you kind of not only maybe speak to yourself and your role in the band, but also maybe somewhat of the rig setup and that different stuff there. So basically, we're going to get into load in and sound check, but I kind of wanted to pause here to talk a little bit about just simply the formation of the band. John, I'll bring you on here. It sounded like there was an element to what Fatum was sharing too, but basically this has been going on for how long now?
16 years.
16 years. That's amazing.
It's crazy. We never intended it to exist. Never to go this long. So we're all very thankful to be able to still be doing it.
Yeah, and from what I understand, do we owe Tina from the Funhouse for this whole thing to happen in the first place?
That is correct.
That's outstanding.
Tina Kowalski from the Funhouse. It was her idea that we did it for one night at the Funhouse, and it's 16 years later.
That's crazy. And so basically what it was you were doing one tribute band one night, and I guess it went really well, and she turned to you all and said you should do another one, but do a different band.
Yes, and we had no idea what band to do, and that's what we're talking about.
That's very cool. And I think too the remarkable part about it is I think it stems probably from you genuinely look a lot like David Byrne, especially on stage in the moments of performing as him. But I think there's an element of that I think really adds to the flavor of what goes on for a show.
I guess so. Yeah, I mean the mannerisms and the movements took a lot of rehearsing. Is it raining in here? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was going to say someone's audio. Okay, there it was.
Like it was raining. Yeah, the mannerisms and the facial expressions and the movements, that took a lot of rehearsing and work and staring in the mirror and looking at a screen to copy. And then vocally, I guess I could get close to the timbre of his voice. So it seems to have worked.
Yeah, for sure. And I think too, like there's that element too of like, obviously you're wearing a gray suit that fits, and then we'll get into it later about the gray suit that doesn't fit, but like just that element too. You guys, I wanted to make sure that we mentioned too, though, that as much as you try to bring those elements in, you're not trying to, on most nights, recreate the movie. You're just trying to do this tribute to the music, and you're doing your own take on those things.
Yeah, and I think we try to bring in some aspects of the movie if we can. A lot of that's dependent on the stage, the size of the stage, the wings, the backstage, what we can pull on and off stage, lighting, all of that stuff. So sometimes we'll get a little closer some nights, and other nights won't really be much of the film at all.
Right.
On location, basically.
Yeah. And I was going to bring this up here, like there was some fun moments about that pedal board, but in essence, you did try to recreate the what David Byrne used in the movie.
That is correct.
And obviously there's the one that's missing, but from down to the actual guitar to, you know, the pedals and the other aspects of things. Anything else you would want to speak to here?
No, I mean, it's very interesting that he chose to just use all Boss pedals.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming they gave him a deal. But it does, I mean, it is a unique sound with all of those pedals going through a Strat, going through the Roland JC is a very specific sound, and pretty much, you know, very close to the film, as close as I can get without going back and getting all vintage gear and getting the exact same thing.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think too, like one of the mistakes I made early on in the show was I avoided nerdy as much as I wanted to get into it. I was like, well, I'm not so sure. And other people who tuned in were like, oh, that one conversation was going super interesting, and then you cut it off. So I now don't worry about the nerdy. So as nerdy as you want to get on this, that's what these behind the sound episodes are more about than anything. So
great.
Yeah.
I'm sure other members of the band would love to nerd.
Well, actually, I was going to ask. So, Jesse, let me bring you out here, because obviously, if people were paying attention, you're giggling your ass off behind Jon as he's saying certain things. I imagine there were some things you wanted to add to this.
Not so much on his rig. It was mainly because I think before we filmed that, he was like, "You should talk about my gear," but he knows what his stuff is. So
oh, totally.
Like you do it, and then he did it fine. So
no, totally, yeah.
I was just laughing because he was like, "You should explain it," and then he explained everything.
Right. Well, my favorite part of it was when you said there's the white one, the orange one, the gray one, and the purple one, which is just awesome. But yeah, no. And Brian, if you don't mind, I'm going to bring you on here too, because you got into your pedals a little bit, but I wanted to maybe let you nerd out a little bit more, and I think I have yours right here.
Yeah, it's a mess.
A beautiful mess, I'm sure. But anything else you would want to touch on, like even just like what created those? You gave like 2 examples, but I'm sure there's many, many more to possibly share. But yeah, or just anything like how you kind of go about creating these different sounds of the band and such.
Well, part of it is just like based on the sounds that you need for the songs, whether it be the live one or the studio ones, and then me just kind of obsessively watching as many videos as I can so I can, look and listen to all the crazy sounds that happen. And I limit myself to that, range of pedals that I can have, or else, room in the van for what I wish I could bring. Yeah. So, but yeah, the crazier the sounding pedal is, the better it is for me. That's, my favorite part of the end of the night is like when someone comes up and it's like, dude, what the heck was that crazy sound? And it's a point of pride for me. So
for sure,
yeah.
for sure. And then lastly in this section, and we're going to get to everybody throughout the whole show, obviously, but Alex, I wanted to bring you on too for your Mr. Korg.
I took those stickers off, by the way.
Oh no,
they're retired for the year, but maybe that show I was talking about might come back in the future. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to tell that, but anyway, for now it's like all right.
That's right. Yeah, can neither confirm nor deny.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But obviously,
they're retired for now.
I think of anywhere on that stage, the one that needs the most effects and the most pre-work probably to get things programmed, as you were even mentioning in there, is the keys, because there's so much of that has to start to try and create that similar sound of what was in the Talking Heads and even more so in the movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's just all sound design, which is a whole another skill level in itself beyond just being able to play the parts. And before I started playing with this band, it was just nothing I even really thought about. I just play piano. That's just what I do. That's my thing. And then first few gigs, we didn't have the Prophet. I just used what you saw before on my first deck, and just use a Yamaha MX for the synth sounds. All right, this sounds close, I'll use this, not so much attention to detail, just trying to get close as possible. And then we got the Prophet and we hired somebody, Ian, I believe.
Ian Barr, you are correct.
Yes, Ian, right. Yeah. And he programmed all the sounds from Stop Making Sense, specifically from the movie. And that just sort of opened my eyes on what it takes to do that. And then it sort of opened up my world, working with the Prophet and then trying that stuff out my own. How can I make this sound as close as possible? And then every time we add on something new, that needs a synth sound. The most recent I could think of is when we do our William Onyebar Fantastic Man. All right, how can I get this? And then just little by little developing that skill level. So just that experience, it's so much fun. And then you get the reward of performing those sounds live, the sounds that you created. So yeah, totally. I had a blast with that.
Awesome. Well, I think it'll become more and more evident, and there'll be more and more to talk about as we layer in certain things. So we're going to do a shorter video here on Load In. And so for people, again, in case you just happen to not know, there's this just time frame called Load In, where pretty much the musicians are showing up in the afternoon, often hours before the show, if not more, a good half a day, to bring in their instruments, making sure they're adjusting to climate, because obviously this was a show that we recorded in December, so it was very cold, it was very snowy and icy, so you got to get those instruments to warm up, but then also just got to make sure everything's working. There's going to be all sorts of different possible points of failure, whether it's pedals or cables or just amps or speakers. So this is the early part where you're just getting everything somewhat set up, and then you're kind of sound checking maybe to yourself to say, okay, I feel pretty good about at least that I can now go to that next phase. So I think you'll enjoy this. So take a listen to just Load In of Start Making Sense.
What do you want to do?
It flows into a lake.
Hey, yeah, 1, 2.
So if you're listening on the podcast, right now Colin, the sound engineer, is doing mic checks. So this is not the band yet. This is basically just making sure the mic
Yeah, 1, 2.
and is live. Everyone always loves sound check.
It's the fun part of
Yeah.
the day.
Thank you. Yeah, I was just getting your game.
And that's another thing going on. They're making sure they can hear each other.
Yeah, the chords are so weird. It goes down in whole steps. The whole thing.
It doesn't feel, no, it feels sealed.
But, like, especially in the snare, like, ghost steps go away.
Yeah, so like I...
Here's the iconic lamp getting loaded in and checked as well.
That way, well, do something or not? Sure. Or much or less?
No, I don't care.
I don't care. I could start the first set. You can do the second set. That's fine with me.
Or we have.
I love Psycho Killer. I've never played it.
It's kind of hard, man. I don't know. It's gonna be up.
A flat minor, right?
What's E flat?
Oh, I just wanted to check that the side book when we get it. So we can get check it with everybody on stage. That one stage right. Make sure they were all in place, kind of.
I'm blinded like Larry properly.
I am for once not blinded by this art.
Oh, actually.
So there was load in. I think you can start to see that things are coming around as far as sounds you can recognize and maybe little tidbits of songs. But I think that's really, really cool stuff. So John, since you happen to be center screen there, why don't you just add anything that kind of like element of that load in part? It's somewhat of like the unfortunate, like necessary part of the setup, but I think you guys have a great, really fun time with it all.
We do. There's a lot of in jokes and a lot of running jokes and gags. I was just actually watching that. It was so funny because it literally just sounds like chaos.
Sure.
Audio-wise.
No, it totally does. Like, and again, as like an observer, that's the way it always feels. But you can kind of feel it. It becomes this magical thing where it's nothing but chaos that starts to really form and develop right in front of your eyes and ears. It's really fascinating stuff.
it's funny because it doesn't sound like chaos to me because I know what everyone's doing
right
to get their things together to be able to sound check. But if I didn't know that, it literally just sounds like chaos.
Yes. But less and less so every 10 minutes you can feel it getting a little bit more dialed in. But now let's bring in the additional member of the band that wasn't in the Meet the Band section. Let's bring in Colin Reynolds. And actually, hang on. I have a little, basically like everyone else got. Here's your intro music. I mean, everyone else got that treatment. Why shouldn't you? So,
no,
anyway.
Thank you.
So yes, welcome to the show, Colin Reynolds. This is the first time I had ever done it where the band actually had their own sound engineer that they brought along, and I find it to be obviously probably incredibly helpful for them, so to know that they could trust that you already know how everything needs to get dialed in. So there you were doing all sorts of checks before the actual kind of musical checks were happening. But anything you would want to share there? We're about to get into sound check, which is where you really obviously are somewhat the maestro, the conductor, if you will, to make sure that everything's happening and in a pattern. I mean, it's got to get done by a certain point because the show has to happen and people got to eat dinner and all that other kind of stuff. So time's of the essence there. So there's a little bit of kind of no monkey business, but still monkey business happens. Anyway, please, anything you would want to share about that whole moment there of load in sound check and stuff?
No, it's usually just like we were saying, it's a bit of controlled chaos, and my job is to try to slave through it as much as we can and get everybody up and on and checked and get to dinner and get the doors open for the fans to come in.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, it was run efficiently, and it was no I've been at some where there was hard feelings or people wanted to really focus on something that, all right, that was more of an artistic thing you wanted to do. We're in a technical moment here, you got to wait for later, and they got their butt hurt and whatnot. But this was all beautifully done. It was definitely something that was quite enjoyable to watch.
Well, thank you. I've been doing it for a while with them. I've been with Start Making Sense off and on since they started.
Sure. Yeah. And then the one thing I was mentioning, trying to narrate a little bit, is the other element of this that may not be blatantly obvious, even if you're there, is the in-ear monitors that are happening where basically each performer on stage has the equivalent of AirPods, obviously way more complicated than that, but they're trying to get their own levels set for listening to the music from the perspective of the contributor to the music. So that's a whole other added element of what you're trying to do. People were saying, trying to get gain, and you'll hear in the next part where there were things that were just off because certain things were just too high for what they were looking for.
Right.
Yeah. So anything about that? Did the in-ears create an extra complication or less because is it more dialed in versus just simply stage monitors?
It's definitely a lot easier with almost everyone having in-ear monitors. It lowers the stage volume a lot, and it makes it easier for me to mix the show. And everybody can control themselves with their personal devices that connects to our mixer. So it takes that off my hands.
Absolutely. I was going to mention that in the next section. You are going to see people on stage with their phones in their hands. They're not texting their loved ones. They're actually changing the levels of their own in-ear monitors. But I did think that was you'll see it at different times where someone is looking at their phone in the middle of a song, and it's kind of funny. But if you know that, then you realize they're just monitoring their own in-ears. Yeah, absolutely. So Colin, awesome job. And thank you again. Forgive me if I was in the way at different points. I apologize.
Not at all. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Jenny, let me Colin Maestro. I like that.
Yeah, no, I think that definitely fit.
Yeah, I think he's Maestro from now on.
There you go.
This day forward.
Jenny, I wanted to bring you on since we hadn't heard from you yet. Elements here of kind of getting things set up and dialed in. Is this a fun part? Is it something that's just a necessary evil? What do you feel about sound check and load in?
Well, normally we've been in the van all day.
Sure.
Up until this point. So it can be, for some of us on some days, it's a time to get your body to stop feeling like it's moving and kind of ground yourself before the show.
Yep.
And you kind of go into this Zen meditative state where you do the same thing every show. You set up your gear, you get dialed in with your in-ear monitor mix. And then other days you got the zoomies,
Sure.
so you're just on autopilot and watching the footage back, you can see Fatum. Fatum at this point isn't on every show with us, and we were on the same side of the stage.
Yep.
So that day I had the zoomies and we were just cracking jokes like most of it when we weren't like specifically needed for our job in that moment. So
yeah,
I think for everybody, the sound check, like load in sound check pre-show
Sure.
routine can be different on different days.
Yeah. And I think the other part too, like you were talking, is like not only is there that camaraderie happening when it's not your turn or you're not necessarily, you feel like you're ready for sound check, but other people are still dealing with things. There was also this like music discovery things, like Alex, you and Fatum were kind of talking about certain like going down whole steps, and Jesse, there was one in particular where you obviously I was just catching it where we couldn't hear the actual audio, but you were talking with Colin, the percussionist, because I think it was either the night before or a couple nights before he had played drums for you because you were ill, and he was sharing with you, I guess, things that he had just discovered that night, and you were sharing things with him. Like, it was just neat that there was still, after doing this for 16 years, you're still all discovering things in this music and how to perform it.
Totally. Yeah, there's still things we learn. And then with something like that where I was sick and Colin last minute had to play drums for the night.
No pressure.
Yeah, really. Hearing his experience doing what I normally do is always interesting. You know, I might learn something I hadn't noticed.
Of course, yeah.
That he figured out, you know, doing my part that night.
Yeah, no, that's so cool. Yeah, and then I think the element that I wanted to kind of touch on as we go into sound check is, I'm going to actually do it this way. Basically, what I found was sound check in general feels like performance art. Like, there's just this almost bizarre, like, people are uttering guttural sounds just because you want to get high tones and low tones. And Colin, please type it, like, share anything that you as sound engineer, like, what are you looking for from a mic check or an instrument check during sound check? Like, what helps you feel like, okay, we're dialed in, we can move on to the next one?
As far as like getting the monitors dialed in?
Yeah, like basically sometimes people go and they're singing or performing and then they stop and go, do you need more? And you go, yes. Like, what helps you feel like you hit the full range of everything you're looking for?
Usually setting the gain to make sure that the proper volume is set, and also just dialing in frequencies to make sure anything that is, you know, something that's a little bit low that might be making it sound muddy, I can try to clean that up, you know, or bring out some highs just so we can, you know, get some more clarity on the voices, that kind of thing.
That's so awesome. I mean, it's such a, like, again, it's a whole other element of magic to this industry that I have no idea of. So kudos to you for making it all sound so great. And then the other part that I had noticed was, and this is typical for most sound checks I've been to, it starts with the drums and bass. Is that because you want to set rhythm first before other things, or is that just almost just like just the way it goes?
Typically, especially for a rock and roll show, it's based around the sound of the drums, and I want to set the level of the drums first, and then build everything from around that. And I just usually go down, I go down the line as far as how I have things plugged in. So I do drums, bass, percussion, guitars, keys, and then vocals.
Right. And then you even had drums and bass do it at the same time, which I hadn't always seen before. But that's also where some of the shenanigans start to happen, and then you're like, okay, next, and it's like, it's very funny. But that's where some of this, again, like, I found this to be so joyful and so fun, and again, not always that way. That you all it's clear that you all enjoy performing with each other, and again, this like performance art aspect of things, because it was like, wait till you hear some of the sounds. I mean, we have a cat, we have a car sound, we have. I think Beaker from the Muppets makes an appearance. I mean, like, wait till you hear this cacophony of awesome that's about to happen from what I think most people wouldn't realize is something to be beholden, is this sound check aspect of things. And then Brian, there's this funny part where like you thought you were done and you're not, and it's just incredibly hilarious. But then again, that turns into this whole song that gets cut up. I don't know. Like I ended up watching this video twice just because I enjoyed it so much. And it's just sound check. Like, wait till we get to the actual performances. But yeah, let's just get into it. Here, enjoy sound check of Start Making Sense. That was where Colin asked to bring the drums back in to do with the So now testing percussion. Important to test everything that has a separate mic associated with it.
Thank you very much. I was actually enjoying all of the non-talking head songs that kept showing up during soundcheck. So now the three guitars are sound checked.
Alex, could I hear?
Heading over to the keys. This is interesting. He's playing it, but there's no sound yet. And then you'll hear it come in. Now moving to the mic checks.
Am I on?
I wanted to see that keep going.
Yes. I'm good. Is my living in vain? I can really hear myself. Thank you. Is my giving in vain? You want me to keep going? Am I wasting my time? Whoa, whoa, oh, ooh, yeah. It's so great. Like, I don't have to ask you if you need me to turn down because
That's the
That's a nice
in-ear and personal device commentary right there.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Cheeks.
Another important reason for sound kick. And now we have the Jon Braun-orator.
Sounds like a Motel 6 air conditioner.
Just that. No consonants, no vowels. Oh. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Sunday. Ah, damn it.
Can I have so much on?
Sunday. 1, 2, 2. Cafe. Cafe. Oh, I'm talking cafe. Yeah, go rich cafe. Okay. Colin, can I get a hair more in my bench? The thinnest hair that is provided in nature. Hey, 1, 2. It's a great place to start. You roll some lows out? Thank you. Is that a marmot hair? Hey, yep, that's great. Thank you.
Hold on. Thank you. Meow, 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 meow. I'm still going for Kathy. Meow, meow. Start there. Okay, thanks.
Check 1, 2. They say into your early life romance came, and in this heart of yours burned a flame that flickered one day and died away. Then, with disillusion deep in your eyes, you learn that fools in love soon grow wise. The years have changed you somehow. I see you now. Is that enough? Oh, sounds great. Thank you.
Yes. Yes. Uh-huh. 1, 2. Check. Hey, hey, hey. Yes. Check. 1, 2. What a fool, but can you see the one with her for power? Me, to reason away. Can you see to be always better than nothing? And nothing at all. Hey, I'm still checking. Still checking. Hey.
Nope, I'm getting him from there.
I'm over there. Hey, shot, ooh, shot, hey, shot, ooh, check. 1, 2, hey, shot, ooh, hey, shot, ooh, check, shot, ooh, hey, yeah, shot, ooh, shot, ooh, hey, 1, 2, shot, ooh, shot, ooh.
Can we get that with a little more blow?
Shot, shot, ooh, shot, ooh. Check it. 1, 2, yeah. Hey, shot.
Are you hearing that?
He's not there.
I see it, but I don't hear it. Yeah, but it shouldn't be that low. I don't know if we got a bad cable or something. I hear it, but he's gained up to plus 28. It shouldn't be that. I think that might be a cable.
So now sound check has moved into an actual song, but you're still going to see people really still working with their equipment, volume, sound check. You're going to see some of the engineers running around on some stuff too. Things are coming into focus. Communications going on stage, yeah.
Yeah, it felt like it was on just.
Do you need any to go up or down? Okay.
That's where Colin sits at the board.
You could cut a little more of the low mid down, because I don't really need any of that. The stage is very hollow, so I feel it when it hits. I don't hit it often, so I don't need it. Cool. Otherwise, volume's great. It's clear. Stable. maybe stable was the wrong word to use. Great. Thank you.
Checking my mic
Yes.
for Kathy. Yay, thank you.
Anybody else need anything? A hug. Could we just do the beginning of Road to Nowhere real quick? That's why we're doing it. One more time, Brian, sorry. 1, 2, 3.
Well, we know where we're going, but we don't know where we've been. And we know where we're going, but we can't say what we've seen. And we're not little children, and we know what we want. The future is certain. Give us time to work it out. You good?
Rival match. The clean tones are even, so that, I just want to make sure that's cool. We're good. You good? Thanks, everybody. Thanks so much.
So there's sound check with Start Making Sense, and that's a fraction of the actual amount of time that went on. But I hope that was some of the the best parts there. But anybody off the top here just simply want to comment on how that went? Because I imagine that's a rare moment where you could see it from the audience.
That was the first thing I was thinking. Is I've never watched this from that vantage point before. It was really interesting. You kind of said before, and this is like a testament to Colin, that it goes so smooth because he has everything so dialed in.
Sure.
You can move that quickly. There's so
Yeah.
many sound checks we've all been a part of or have seen that are painfully slow and unprofessional and long. And so thanks to Colin and all of the band members, our sound checks
Hear,
are
hear.
efficient and quick and go very well. And also full of comedy because we're comfortable that we know Colin is working. We mess around while he's doing stuff, probably much to his chagrin, but a lot of musical inside jokes there going on.
I'm sure. Well, there's even like you do the car thing, and then you just stop and you go, "Hi, Colin."
Right. Yeah, there's a level of comfortability there that's
right, which I'm sure he's going, "Can you please do something musical?"
You could actually even hear Jesse say in there that I'm doing the least helpful.
Yes.
Sounds
I was going to bring that up too.
So there's a lot of that.
Yeah. And there was also this. There was like this 7-year-old boy moment when you did the echo, and you go like, "I'm going to say Sunday," and then you said it, and you were like, "Damn it, I didn't do it fast enough."
That is sound check.
Oh, it's so good. But yeah, absolutely. Kathleen, let me bring you in here because there's an element to the in-ears that for a backup singer is like the most important part because you need to be able to hear everyone else to make sure that you stay, somewhat obviously in tune and not get pulled in a direction to go out of tune and so on. So like, tell me a little bit about that because obviously there was some real strong effort there to make sure you were getting the mix that you wanted.
Well, that's because I'm not using in-ears.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so you were using the wedge on the stage.
Johnny and I think, are the two people that are not using in-ears.
And John Tatum.
We do the actual full-blown sound check.
Got it.
And we have to ask other people to adjust our monitors.
But there's those hand gestures from the stage, and you're able to.
You can see all the sign language that's going on.
Yep. Yeah. But it's super cool to watch, honestly, because to be able to still pull off the art of the song, because everyone is still singing, performing, and in the midst of going, I need to change this, I need to dial that in better, or even communicating the other person, be like, your stage monitor's way too loud, you got to turn that down, all sorts of fun stuff like that.
Yep. Yeah. So, and it's so important to get everything dialed in. Thankfully, everybody, I feel like the whole band has such respect for each other that everything gets done during sound check. Like, it's not, as John said, it's not that way with every band.
Sure.
Like, everybody gets their time, and it gets worked out perfectly, so we could, give it the best we got.
Certainly. Yeah. And Jesse, anything you would want to add to that commentary about saying that John was giving him the least helpful thing going? He might not be able to hear us.
Jesse, do you have audio?
Seems as though he doesn't. Well, Jenny, we'll move to you then and get into the cat sound check that was happening there. It was melodic. I imagine it was enough to get the sound check going, and maybe sound checks just get boring over time, and this was just allowing you to enjoy yourself.
Well, so during the week, I teach at School of Rock Easton, and that's School of Rock is kind of what connected me to Jon Braun and John Fadum and Brian Davis, because I was a student of the program.
Sure.
But beside that, the thing I find myself doing is teaching small children during the week, meowing melodies to them.
Yeah.
And then over time, it just morphed into my sound check. If you caught it, I'm meowing "Kiss from a Rose" by Seal.
It was familiar. I just couldn't place it.
We do that with my band Ruby Deer as a cover. And over time, that's just become my sound check staple. It's a wide range, and I find the meow shape is really good for warming up.
Yeah.
But I always forget if I'm sitting in with another band, like when we did the Turkey Jam with the Groove Merchants
right
on Thanksgiving Eve. I just go into my Start Making Sense sound check, and everyone on stage gives me the space. Everybody in this band is super used to me just meowing at the top of my lungs, so I gotta keep myself in check sometimes.
This is super funny. I have another song for you to consider playing on the Ruby Deer side that we'll reveal in the next episode that I think would be super fun, because I think most people will think you're about to play Psycho Killer, but it's something else entirely.
Okay.
And especially because of the people knowing that you're in this band, I think will be like, oh, they're playing, and then they'll get fooled. But anyway, tune in to the Ruby Deer episode next, happening after this one, and you'll be able to know what song we're talking about. But do we have Brian back? Did he reconnect?
Yeah.
Hello, Brian. I wanted to touch on the really funny moment where you were sound checking your mic and it didn't exactly hit, but then you sang an incredible song that then got the bass and drums in, and then you got cut off halfway, well, about a minute into that one, but it was really a really funny moment.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, that was I don't know.
Did that just come to you in the moment to sing that particular song?
Yeah, I feel we all got like our handful of tunes and stuff that we always kind of, play and sing for each other when we do sound check. And I don't know, sometimes I try to like make it, entertaining for all of us and try to mix it up so that we're not, just doing the same thing every night. And I love it when they start playing with me. It's the best.
That is super cool. And Colin, to wrap this up here, any particular either flavor to add or a certain story from a given sound check or this particular one, like anything that you're kind of wanting to share when it comes to this part?
I do remember we were sound checking at the State Theater in Portland, Maine once, and before I'd gotten there, I had a breakfast sandwich from a local chain, and it gave me such horrible heartburn. I actually had to stop the sound check and beg somebody in the band to give me Tums because I was in agony. Nothing technical to add. That was just a story
I've been there too. That's a rough one.
Mm-hmm. Don't get a breakfast sandwich from Aroma Joe's.
Noted.
I was normally I'm asking for sponsors off of that, and
you can take that out.
No.
No.
Listen, we're live. We're gonna live with it. And then I think the other really amazing point that happened. Oh wait, let me go to Alex first. You were was it Beaker? Is that exactly what that was?
Sure. Yeah, we can go with that. I don't know.
It just sounded like Meeps.
Yeah. I'm just Beaker Meeps. I'm just again like to what Brian said. Like we're especially because that was like near the end of the year for us, and we're all kind of like running on fumes. So we're just like let's just be goofy, and it's just like at least try to make somebody laugh. Right?
Sure.
We want to have fun with it.
Right. Well, I'm sure you hear it. Like I'm filming it, and you hear me laughing multiple times in there. But and John, there was one more really amazing moment where you said, I believe the quote was, "The thinnest hair provided in nature," was some sort of bizarro way to put that. And then you actually had a commentary about with what actual animal that might have been, and I just thought that was really funny in the middle of the soundtrack.
That's the kind of to what Alex was saying and what Brian was saying. There's a lot of just loose stream of consciousness babble coming from me. I don't really know what to say at that point. You can only say check so many times, so you just start word vomiting out whatever's coming out of your brain, and that's what came out of my brain that day.
Well, let's meet another member of the band that showed up a little bit during the load-in portion, but I wanted to give this a moment here. But so now, the lamp was there.
That was funny.
And I commented on it while you were kind of like, it was showing up to the theater, and then you were putting it up on stage. It's like a extremely well constructed lamp.
It sure is.
I can bring it up here while you chat about it.
It had to be well constructed in order to last, which is most of the things that I have to handle end up like that because I'm kind of a bumbling Neanderthal. But our former
aren't we all though?
Our former bass player, Michael Davidson, built that lamp, started to, and then a good friend of ours, Robbie Rapkin, finished it up. And so it was a 2-person job. It's a very heavy-duty mic stand, and then it's all hand-wired and put together in order to be collapsible and to travel, but also to not fall apart while it's being used.
Right. And I don't know if you noticed this, but like during the show when it was going on, the audience often stands. That part you definitely know. But here's someone who was like front row, who was just rocking out to the song and looked like they wanted to come up on stage and dance with the lamp for you or with you.
They look like, they're praising the lamp there. That's
yes,
really
absolutely. I'd never really seen someone, a lone human, stand front row amidst other people just enjoying the show. Though I'm sure there were some choice words for whoever was sitting behind them. But anyway, let's get into some of the music here. So we're going to probably talk over most of this because I want to give us additional time to kind of speak to how you kind of create the sound and so on. Like obviously we've been through a lot of the pre-setup stuff. So let's start playing where things start. I mean, it's probably pretty obvious. The movie starts with this, your show starts with this, and it's often to be one of the more iconic songs of theirs. But let's check out Psycho Killer.
Wow, this is interesting to watch and like possibly give commentary.
Right?
With those DVD extras.
That's what your next favorite band brings you. I'll bring the volume down a little bit here. But as in the movie, you all don't start with everyone on stage. And so why don't we take a moment here to talk about the beginnings also of you doing this. So 16 years ago, 15 years ago, you're starting to do this, and I'm sure the reception is fairly good. Like, how did those early kind of performances, early years start to really make you realize you had something here?
Trial and error. Yeah, I mean, we just kept doing it. Audience response is like a really good gauge.
Sure, absolutely.
I think that's what you have to pay attention to. So we would start to see what worked and what didn't, and what was really connecting, and kind of lean into that a little harder.
Yeah, and then was there any like specific turning point? Was there a single performance? Was there a certain element of maybe someone coming up to you after a show? Was there something that really kind of jumped out at you to say, let's keep adding to this and keep practicing in front of a mirror or adding a certain piece of gear or what have you?
No, I think it all kind of happened pretty organically. I think it was just, a piece at a time. As it went on, we'd figure out other things we could add in and in this case, take away, starting with the smaller band and then adding the band in like the film.
Yeah.
That I don't even remember when we started doing that, but at some point we did.
Yeah. When was the first time you did an actual recreation of the movie?
Ooh. Jesse, you got that date?
16?
September 2016.
Nice.
And that must have been where you knew, okay, we can really do something fun here. Any good stories from like audience response there or anything like that? I got to think people kind of went bananas and maybe even had somebody going, technically you did this one thing wrong.
No, we didn't get any critiques on that.
Okay, good.
A normal show, we get more critiques than the recreation. It's kind of just a blur because there's so much to do when we do that to focus on.
Right.
We kind of go into some kind of catatonic autopilot.
Right. And then who from this current iteration was part of that, or like what can other people kind of share when you joined, those kinds of things?
Anybody want to jump in? We recreated it a couple times over the years. So everyone on this screen has done the recreation. And I think everybody except Alex was on that first one.
Yeah, I only was on the last one, I believe.
Yeah. So pretty close to everybody here.
Okay. Yeah. And then any commentary on either building up the sound or stuff that came from the audience or what have you?
Somebody else jump in. I don't want to talk.
It's a lot of people. Do you want me to just pick?
Yeah. Just
all right. Jenny, it sounded like you wanted to say something and then got cut off. So let's go with you.
Well, I was going to talk about when I entered the band. So I was in college and it was 2014, I think, when I did my first gig with Starring Friends. And for the first, I don't know, until 2021, I was a backup singer. And then I switched over to bass because during COVID, our bassist was like, I need a real job. And all the shows were canceled. And I play guitar, so I switched over to bass. So that's kind of my journey in the band. But I'm actually curious to hear everybody else's.
Sure.
Like when
all
they.
Right, then you pick somebody. Who goes next?
Alex.
Me.
Yeah.
So when I started with the band, it was as a sub. At first, I believe it was the summer of 2017. And then shortly after that, maybe a few months after that, Brad stepped down. And right around that same time, the band I was with at the time, I left for reasons I won't get into here. But I left that band right at the same time.
Save that for another episode.
Yeah. I left right as Brad stepped down, so it was just a perfect situation. So I just hopped in full time starting 2018 and been around ever since. Yeah.
Cool. I'm going to bring in another song, and we're going to keep chatting on this topic so we can get to everybody. But one of my personal favorite songs of the Talking Heads, and you all do an amazing job of it, and it includes those really incredible Fresnels, the lights that blinded Jesse during the sound check. But here's What a Day That Was. And then, again, I'll bring it down so we can keep chatting. Cool effect with these lights, man.
They really look cool. I never get to see that.
Especially in this theater, too, it worked out great.
feel like this is a perfect spot to talk to Kate if she didn't disappear, because she hasn't talked yet.
Yeah.
She's right there.
Nope, we just lost her.
Oh, she ran away!
No, it seems as though she just keeps losing her internet and her browser connection.
Crap.
But incredible version. Again, the lights were just gorgeous.
Yeah, it really does look great.
Yeah, we don't often get to see it from that vantage point. Usually we can't see anything for this song.
Right. Yeah, like I said, Jesse had mentioned, like, if you hear him, it's a little bit faint, but during the sound check, all of a sudden, or it's load-in video, and he goes, I'm blinded like they're aimed correctly. So I can only imagine that that's the traditional angle, is right into the eyes of all of y'all.
Yep, pretty much. But I guess this was also one of those things we figured out over the years with the lighting there. You know, it wasn't something we initially thought of.
Sure.
We had a very good friend of ours who was our first LD lighting director and also still works with us from time to time. He's a very busy, in-demand lighting director, so we only get him once in a while. But when we did the first recreation, he did all the lights, and then he suggested these particular lights to use on the road and travel with, because they're portable. And so we bought a bunch of them and started working with it on our own when we didn't have a lighting director. So that's just many of those things over the years that happened, kind of getting tips and figuring things out as they go.
Sure, absolutely. Brian, we didn't hear from you yet on just, joining the band and just feeling like what it was like to be a part of some of those earlier shows that, just started to show that this was something special being formed together.
You want to hear my origin story? Is that what we're doing?
I guess, yeah. It sounds like there might be something fun there.
Yeah. No, it was great.
That
So
first
I
show,
was a
Brian.
sub too.
That first show that you did, I love that story.
Oh, Florida?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your first show?
So yeah, I was. John called me after not hearing, talking to him for 10 years or something, and then he was, I knew he was doing this Talking Heads band and all that stuff, and John Fatum, the other guy he's not currently here right now, but he was having a child, and so that's why I was called to fill in, because we didn't know when his kid was coming, basically, and so it was only supposed to be a kind of a shorter period of time, and since we didn't know when his son Miles was being born, we kept stretching, so I had to keep telling my boss where I teach, I can't come in, I can't do this, so sorry. And but I was so nervous, and I had a blast afterward, when we got back from Florida. But that was crazy. That whole first tour for me was just I haven't, at that point I didn't play in bands for 10 years. I was doing audio engineering stuff mostly, working in a studio, so playing with these guys, not practicing at once with them. That's the other thing. We don't really rehearse ever, which is bonkers to me. Which
I would agree that I would never have expected to hear that.
It's awesome. It's just we just trust each other that much that you don't have to. It's just I think it goes without saying, we're pretty grateful for each other that we can trust each other for that. It's pretty cool. So yeah, no rehearsals when I have my first gig. Same with Alex. It was just kind of
here,
boom,
yeah.
go.
Same.
And yeah, it was awesome. That's the initiation of the band right there.
Initiation and hazing.
Yeah.
You got to play the show, no rehearsal.
Yeah.
That is awesome. And Alex, a lot of those sounds that we heard during sound check and during the intro, you're hearing in this song big time.
Yeah, I get to have a lot of fun with this one, particularly with those sounds, as you can tell.
So Kate is giving
one.
us. Kate had said she's never even played with a gig with a band before this band. So she's actually throwing in some stuff in the comments so that we can at least get her her flavor to this thing. Kate, keep doing that. Keep sending some messaging through. But I'm going to keep the music going because I want to make sure we get to more tracks. And I know we're going over here. It's a supersized episode, but it is so worth it. Thank you all for doing this. Another a song that I want to make sure we get to is from the movie. The one that's not a Talking Heads song is the one where they kind of take the break. And, Jenny, this is where Tina Weymouth takes over and sings one of the Tom Tom Club songs, Genius of Love. So let's bring that one in because I think it's such a fun, break in this. If watching the movie, it does kind of stick out as being obviously totally different. Obviously, David Byrne isn't singing it, and it's a totally different sound. So for those of you who maybe have seen the movie but didn't know exactly why that was or what that was, here's the Genius of Love. Anything to share here, Jenny, off of this track? And obviously you talked about the iconic pigtails and all that good stuff. It's such a fun song.
It is a fun song, and we have so many people tell us, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you did it because it's in the film. And people really, really love when we put this in the set list. But I will say that Jesse and I both have a hard time with it. Me personally, having to do the crab dance, and it feels a little dorky, I'm
Sure, no, I got you.
I'm doing all the goofy dance moves, and then Jesse has to do the ad-libs that Chris Franz did in the film.
Yep.
So he's throwing in little sayings. So we always poke fun at it, but every night when I get to, with Kate and Kathy, jump into the song and see everybody in the audience perk up and get into it because it's the girls are doing the song and David Byrne's gone for a second, right? So it's always a really fun part of the show and exciting to get to do.
Totally. And Jesse, important to point out, your mic check, while you might have been called out for saying the other one wasn't helpful and then you're doing ooh shock, is actually this song. So you're actually testing your mic for this track. Oh, you might not have our audio again. Damn it.
You should just jump in on Jenny's audio.
I know.
Yeah.
In the other room.
Jesse.
That's funny. This is a show first.
This has got to be a first, right?
This is definitely a show program first. Kathleen, how about you? Let's go with some more comment, you joining in on the band and songs like this one in particular. Give us some commentary from your perspective.
Well, when it comes to joining the band, I joined, I think, a year after the band started, and I was only going to be filling in for a song or two. And that turned into 15 years, which it's been awesome. I've loved it all.
That's fantastic.
This song, one of my favorites. I love it. It's so fun. Jenny does such an awesome job. And it's a really cool song to have in the set, and everybody loves it. The crowd goes crazy.
Oh, totally. This has got to. So now switching to Jesse, we were talking before you joined on this version of the microphone, just how different the lyrics are from probably what you're used to, and I was also pointing out that your sound check matches this song. So you were actually testing the mic for this song, not just goofing around with vocals.
Correct. Yeah. Sorry, I was having audio trouble, but that was one of the notes I actually wrote when we were watching the sound check. Was everybody kind of takes some a unique sound that they use during the show.
Sure.
And checks with that, because it might be something that's super loud or super low in pitch. So we kind of use.
This is the crab dance that Jenny was saying she's embarrassed by, but she does it perfectly.
But yeah, this is the only time I am on the mic during the show, so I might as well check my mic with
absolutely
those sounds, you know.
Yeah,
those sounds
sure.
you love so much.
I believe we have a John Fatum. Do we have a John?
We
John,
do.
Look at this.
Can you? There it is. I'm here, right?
Yeah,
this
we
is
got
amazing.
What's
We
up?
got
There
you.
I am, and there I am on the screen.
John, this is a perfect time. Maybe you can share what we got is we've been chatting a little bit about kind of the early years of where it suddenly started to become apparent that you had something, like that you had something that people liked listening to and going to see in a show.
Right. So how did we know, basically?
Yeah, like how that made you feel, and maybe anything that kind of like any specific either moment or show or anything that kind of just made it kind of become clear to you that you had something special.
Well, I mean, I think just the very first show that we did, it was at this place called the Secret Art Space, and it was just this little plain room in Bethlehem. We just kind of invited everybody that we knew, between the 15 people in the band. That's a lot of people. So, everybody came out, and they were all like people's, our parents or our really good friends and people who just, who their opinion really meant a lot to us.
Sure.
There were people who are part of our lives. And after we finished, they were all just so ecstatic about the whole thing. And the show was a mess. I mean, there were lots of problems. There
There's
was
a recording out there somewhere of that first show.
Oh, I have it. It's not coming out of my hands, but I have it.
I need to see it.
But I remember Pulled Up, especially. The Pulled Up has this really weird guitar line in the second verse where there's this kind of like thing that's out of sync with the verses and the structure. And I remember John just being like, no. And I'm like playing this thing, and he's like, no. And I stopped playing, and then he's like, no, play it. And I was like, it was such a mess. He remembers, I'm sure. And but after that show, all our friends were just like, oh my God, that was amazing, And so as many faults as that had, and things that, of course, the musicians in the band knew what was going on.
Yeah.
It was we knew that it was something really special just from the way that the people that we loved all reacted to, and we're like, oh my God, that was so cool, So that's the memory that I keep, from the beginning.
I think, and that's a great point, because I didn't even think of it like that. Like, we didn't think after that, like, we should be doing this for 16 more years. But just that one show, having people say that was really good, does kind of push you to the next show and the next show and the next show. So that's a great point, John.
Yeah, for sure. And so now we've met the band, we met the sound engineer Colin, we met the lamp. It's time to meet one more member of the band. However, David Byrne doesn't have to go up this tiny, janky set of steps, so. God bless you, John, for doing this without falling all over yourself.
Oh, I've done that too.
But in the movie, again, talk about performance art. Like, soundcheck is probably something that David Byrne will put on Off-Broadway, but they constantly had these moments like this where you were just like, what in the Lord is going on? And it's like equal parts silly and serious. Like, I just don't know how they do it in their music and then in moments like this. But, I mean, my goodness, how uncomfortable is that thing to wear, and how long did it take to make?
It's actually not uncomfortable at all. This iteration is the most comfortable. But as far as how it was made, I'm gonna leave that to Jenny to speak about, because the construction is, I don't understand.
Yeah. Jenny, how was it to make this suit, and how long did it take?
Well, I made the initial suit in 2016, the first time we did the film recreation.
Sure.
There was a suit that was made. John, can you remind me who made the first one?
I can't remember. She was a good friend of Nick Levinos's, and I can't remember her name at the moment. But yes,
Well, she had made a kind of a rough draft that he had used a few times, and I kind of took the innards of that and reconstructed it. So the waistband basically has a metal hoop inside the pants, and then there's a suspension system, like suspenders, to hold the pants up, and it goes under the shirt, but it kind of goes together like a puzzle.
Right.
And so we used the suit that I designed from 2016 until recently, and then my friend Brenda Birkland, who is a New York City Broadway costumer, she worked with Jon to re-envision my initial design, and she added like sport performance fabric and like removable snaps, and made it so it will not fall apart like the suit I made was deteriorating and falling apart like a
I mean, how many performances a year, and it goes through some this is not any commentary on you, Jon, but like it goes through some movement. Like it's got some really strange things that happen through the different shows and such. It's just part of the David Byrne of it all. But man, like that's so fascinating to watch. I wanted to make sure we captured that. I'm going to bring up a picture here of it just so you can get one more good glance at it. Any other commentary on this big gray suit?
I would love to hear everybody else's comments on it.
Jesse must be sad because it blocks him more. But
I'm surprised I don't see you falling down all the time when you wear that suit. It just seems like
yes,
I'd be like, boom.
Yeah, it does look like you should be running into cymbals more because it's just making you bigger than you would inherently
really
anticipate.
Heavy, like
right.
Oops.
Yeah, it's not that heavy, but it is odd. I mean, I really have to be careful going on and off stage with it.
Sure.
Once I'm on stage, it's usually fine as long as the stage is large enough to move around on.
Right.
But I have, I've run into people like running off stage, like stagehands, like clip them with the shoulder and stuff because I've had to run sideways a lot of times when I get off stage to fit through things.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It's interesting.
Kate added some commentary. She said it may not be heavy, but it is damp.
This was the add-on with Jenny's friend Brenda was able to make it so that it's washable.
Nice.
All the previous ones weren't able to be cleaned.
Woof.
And this is the biggest bonus on this one.
Yes, I'm sure the rest of the band likes that.
Out of it, and it would still hold its shape and walk away. So it
sometimes loads the gear and packs up.
It was doing sound check for you.
Yeah, I mean, and Kathy can speak to that. I had before Brenda made some of the regular size suits too. One of my older suits we actually cut up and threw into the ocean because it needed to go away.
Little bits and pieces.
Yep. So I think we have a Kate. Kate, do we have you on it?
Yay, Kate!
I'm alive!
Thank you for the commentary, but let's get to like one of the things we were asking everybody was like that early stages of the band and how you kind of felt and knew that you were part of something special.
I think for me, as someone who being in a band was always like one of those like dream things. And I mentioned earlier that like prior to my first gig with SMS, I had never even played a gig with a band, period. Like I had never done a real, I taught high school chorus and like did a lot of musical theater. But I think for me walking in, and my first gig was with Kathy, because there's not always two of us, right? And I remember walking in and just being like a total deer in headlights at the Stone Pony, no less, like so welcomed and so supported, despite being an absolute and total noob. Like I had no idea what I was doing. And there was just like this overwhelming sense of like, I can be figuring it out on the fly.
and everyone's going to be there to like happening. And that like continues, 5 years later. I know that no matter where we are in the world, no matter what new song we're throwing on the set list, like we are all there to support each other and prop each other up. And it is really something special. It's really something special. Like these people are my family.
Totally.
And that is just, I don't know. I can't say enough.
Yeah. And I was adding that earlier where I was just, it's pretty obvious, like just how, like, much you all enjoy performing with each other and care for each other. That's super cool.
Speaking of family.
Absolutely. But I think the I saw you first perform at a Music Fest performance where you were on like the Levitt stage, and obviously it's Music Fest, it's not ticketed, you don't know how many people were there, but I know that lawn can hold 5,000 people, and it was full plus. So like there you are performing here in Bethlehem, where you're kind of like based here, to have that much support and during like the coolest festival around, like how that must have felt just incredible.
Yeah, for sure. Just the fact that we get to do that, and we're able to experience that, is ridiculous.
Yeah,
like we've never thought that would be a thing. All the stuff we do, none of it was a plan or a goal, and it's just insane to be able to experience all that with all of these amazing people.
Sure. Yeah. And even that night, I took one picture. I went to remember I showed you the one person standing up? There was people standing up pretty much everywhere, more along the side so that they weren't standing in front of people. But I took a picture towards the end of the night where just the only reason why the seats are empty in the back is because they all had moved towards the front. And if you really look at this thing, it's a joyous, like, spiritual type event. Like, people are just loving life. Like, this was just such a cool thing to be around. And it was really, really nice to be a part of like this whole day, to watch you do the load-in, the sound check, the performances and stuff. It was just such a lovely thing, and I want to thank all of you for letting me do that, and to take this time also to share it with you here and with fans and followers, and hopefully this helps people have an even larger appreciation for what you're pulling off, because it's not like you can just show up, plug into the amp, and start playing. Like, it takes a lot of effort every night, even though you've been doing it for 16 straight years. And also, the fact that you're still learning things, like we talked about. Like that day, there was stuff happening where you were just suddenly aware of something new that you just weren't aware of before. So I think it's this really special thing. People who listen to the show know that I'm not one for cover songs or cover bands, but when it's done, when it's exceptional music like the Talking Heads and done at an exceptional level with people who are just a joy to watch, that's what this show is also about. Is like, this one's worth your time. This one's something that you want to go see. Let me also point out, that was a 2-hour show, so it was well worth, like, you guys don't hold back. I mean, like, it's unbelievable what you get for your ticket price. So, like, go and see a Start Making Sense show. Go buy merch from Start Making Sense and go support this band, because it's a bunch of amazing performers, musicians, and humans.
Wow.
Thank you
Thank you
so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So we are going to close things out here, and after the credits, I'm going to play your version of Once in a Lifetime from that night, and it's definitely, obviously, such an iconic and awesome song. But thank you again all for tuning in tonight.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Phil, let's say goodbye to everybody.
We hope you've enjoyed this episode of Your Next Favorite Band. We'd like to sincerely thank Start Making Sense, which includes Jon Braun, Brian Davis, Colin Miller, Alex Ayala, Jenny Founds, Jesse Braun, Kate DeSisto, Kathleen Weber, and John Fadum. Most of them were here tonight. Not everyone could make it, but hopefully you got these amazing stories and these amazing experiences of what the band has been through, has been experiencing, and a little bit of that kind of like dialed down to what the one day of a performance looks like. I really, really, really love these behind the sound episodes, because you get such an interesting peek into what it's like to be the musician who shows up that day to basically set up and perform, for you. And some of that, not only just the really interesting musical side of it, but also the really fun hijinks and goofiness that I think that was what was kind of on display. Was when you listen to them, they talk about that the Talking Heads are dialed that way, but this band is dialed that way too, and so was Day. And I just, as always, our hope is to bring you your next favorite band. And if you tuned in tonight because you already knew Start Making Sense, thank you very much. We hope that you like what you heard and what you saw, that you subscribe, like, and follow so we can bring you your next favorite band in a coming week. Like, for example, Ruby Deer, which was 3 members of this band, Jon Braun, Jesse Braun, and Jenny Founds, just simply spin around to different instruments and play original music that is incredible. You're not going to want to miss that one. So, hope to see you at a live show soon. And stick around for one more song from Start Making Sense. The incredible, iconic Once in a Lifetime by the Talking Heads.
Find yourself living in a shotgun shack. You may find yourself in another part of the world. You may find yourself behind the wheel of a large automobile. You may find yourself in a beautiful house, a beautiful wife. You may ask yourself, well, how did I get here? Letting the days go by, letting the water roll me down, letting the days go by, water flowing underground into the blue again. After the money's gone, once in a lifetime, water flowing underground. You may ask yourself, how do I work this? You may ask yourself, what is that large automobile? You may tell yourself, this is not my beautiful house. You may tell yourself, this is not my beautiful wife. Letting the days go by, letting the water roll me down. Letting the days go by, water flowing underground into the blue again. After the money's gone, once in a lifetime, water flowing underground. Same as it ever was, 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 same as it ever was. Water dissolving, water move. There is water at the bottom of the ocean. Move the water out of the water. Move the water at the bottom of the ocean. Letting the days go by, letting the water roll me down. Letting the days go by, water flowing underground into the blue again. After the money's gone, once in a lifetime, water flowing underground into the blue again, into the silent water, under the rocks and stones. There is water underground. Letting the days go by, into the silent water, once in a lifetime, water flowing underground. You may ask yourself, what is that beautiful house? You may ask yourself, where does that highway go to? You may ask yourself, am I right? Am I wrong? You may say to yourself, my God, what have I done? Letting the days go by, letting the water roll me down. Letting the days go by, water flowing underground into the blue again. After the money's gone, once in a lifetime, water flowing underground into the blue again, into the silent water, under the rocks and stones. There is water underground. Letting the days go by, into the silent water, once in a lifetime, water flowing underground. Same as it ever was, 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 same as it ever was. Thanks, Phoenixville. We'll see you real soon. Take care. Be good to each other. Thank you. Thank you, Talking Heads. Thank you, Colonial. Thank you, Rising Sun. Start Making Sense, Big Band.